Returning to the number 6 jersey is Blackrock's Jim Cashman, who will fill the pivotal position, flanked by Dennis Walsh and Pat Hartnett in the absence of the suspended Timmy Kelleher. But when you look at the Cork team, it's in attack that they look most exciting, despite the continued absence of the retired Tony O'Sullivan. Ger Manley and Barry Egan have brought a new edge up front, but Cork still relies on the old reliables. Tomas Mulcahy and Kevin Hennessy at centre and full forward have skill, craft, and a most valuable asset called experience. This is George O'Connor's 5th league final appearance, and so far, amazingly, has always ended up on the losing side. Today, he hopes it will be different, with the emergence of new, young, inspiring talent sprinkled throughout the field. 19-year-old goalkeeper Damien Fitzhenry gave a brilliant display in the semi-final, while in attack, Jim Bolger is making quite a reputation for himself, along with corner forwards Larry Murphy, 2-goal hero against Limerick, and the hard-working Eamon Scallon. This is the Wexford team, and much will depend on how that Wexford half-back line can dominate and how penetrating Martin Storey, Jim Bolger and Tom Dempsey can be in what looks like a very good half-forward line. Refereeing his 2nd league final is Willie Barrett of Tipperary, and away we go. The National Hurling League final is underway. Wexford playing with wind advantage in this first half. Good ball by Eamon Cleary, coming across to Tom Dempsey, and Dennis Walsh did well. Comes back to the Wexford man, and Wexford have the opening score thanks to one Larry Murphy. He's in form already.
Yeah, well, good start for Wexford, and just what they need with playing with a strong wind. They need to get scores on the board early on, and a good interception here by Dennis Walsh hooks the Wexford player, but Larry Murphy very quickly onto the ball and scores. Good point from a difficult angle. Good start for Wexford, and they need plenty more scores like that, playing with that wind.
Another line ball. Ball that will favour. In fact, it looked like as if he was going to give it to Wexford. Decided now it's going to be a throw ball. The linesman Sean O'Mara there saying yes, it is a line ball for Wexford. Dennis Walsh, Tom Dempsey looking on as Larry O'Gorman takes this sideline cut. Jim Cashman leaving it for Conal Casey. Goes back to Pat Hartnett. Up towards Ger Manley. Going back is Larry O'Gorman. Kevin Hennessy coming out to dispossess him. Left corner back Niall MacDonald. Doubtful starter, but he's here in Semple Stadium playing for his county. Jim Bolger, Brian Corcoran, and corner forward Eamon Scallon. This is Seanie O'Gorman. Up to Kevin Hennessy. He loses possession rather easily. Comes back towards George O'Connor. He's fouled, and the referee gives him the free. Well, there's no question whatsoever, but the attendance, which overall is a little bit disappointing, about 25,000 people, but very windy and favouring Wexford in the first half. And earlier in the day, here in Semple Stadium, there was a light shower, which is making conditions a little bit difficult, possibly, for the players. John O'Connor's free is dropping to the right and wide.
Well, Marty, as I said, there's a very, very strong breeze there. I don't think the drop of rain that we got earlier on is going to be a factor, because the wind is so strong, it's drying the pitch out all the time. And, you know, Wexford playing with an absolutely very, very strong breeze, and they need to get scores like that free. They just missed there. They need all those chances if they're going to win this game. I think with the wind that's there, they certainly need a 7 or 8 point advantage going at half-time.
Tom Kingston's puck out, and it's a fine lengthy one. Drops inside the Wexford half of the field. Pat Buckley leaving it for Hartnett towards Barry Egan. Lovely skill by the Delaney's man. Still Barry Egan cutting through, giving it outside to his other colleague Ger Manley, dispossessed however. Ger Cush gets it out. Pat Buckley, John O'Connor comes down towards Martin Storey, and he's the right half forward. Jim Bolger and Cashman comes down towards Eamon Scallon, being pursued by Brian Corcoran. Over towards Larry Murphy and John Constine. This is Cleary. He thought Larry Murphy was behind him, in fact he was just gone inside, and John Constine gets it out. There's Pat Hartnett, the dental student from UCC, getting it up straight to his opposite number 7, Larry O'Gorman. Brian Corcoran, back there is Jim Cashman. Available if he wants him is Dennis Walsh, but Cashman decides to drive it up towards Teddy McCarthy. Ger Manley. Niall MacDonald with him. again the target is Kevin Hennessy, who's moving Jerkush out from around the square. Larry O'Gorman. Liam John. This match is certainly starting off with a fairly fast movement as Jim Bolger delivers the ball low towards Larry Murphy. The newcomers combine splendidly. A wonderful point by Larry Murphy. His second of this National Hurling League final.
Yeah, well, very good score here by Wexford, and great play by James Bolger. Got a very good ball into Larry Murphy, and again, very good point from a difficult angle. But
line ball for Cork, just outside Wexford 45-metre line. It's going to be taken by Cathal Casey, and he really has built a reputation for himself in recent matches with these sideline cuts, and that must be one of his poorest. Tom Dempsey pulling in it first time. A race for Larry Murphy, leaving it behind him. Jim Cashman picks it up. Down towards Teddy McCarthy from Glanmire. Liam Dunn leaving it run on, but Dunn goes back to collect it. Sends it straight down the middle where Cathal Casey is waiting for it. Over towards Barry Egan. A good low ball for him. Well pulled on by Sean Flood. Goes back down towards Manley. Getting inside Niall MacDonald rather easily. Joe Manley in a goal scoring opportunity. Oh, what a wonderful goal! Manley hits the back of the Wexford net. An unstoppable shot which gave Damien Fitzhenry absolutely no chance. And the people of Cork rejoice.
Well, Marty, is certainly a tremendous goal by German. He was steering here rounding the Wexford corner back, and this is what he is particularly good at, taking on the defence, just like he did against Tipperary, and onto his left hand. He has a tremendous left hand shot, and it's an unstoppable shot past Damien Fitzhenry. But I would like to make the point there, Marty, that was as a result of a tremendous ball. Pat Hartnett won in his own half back line, first time pulled into the forward line. Tremendous ball by Hartnett.
And a quick ball paying dividends for Cork. Pat Buckley giving it outside to Teddy McCarthy. Well pulled on by Tomas Dunn, sending it over towards Eamon Scallon. Corcoran right beside him, and Corcoran has the composure and the time to pick it up, but well blocked down by Jim Bolger. Put under pressure. The break falls for Cork and Cathal Casey. Sean Flood, Jerkush. Eventually it's John O'Connor that gives it out to big brother George. Dennis Walsh running onto it, sidestepping Jim Bolger. And the last time Cork and Wexford met, Jim Bolger certainly played a blinder on Jim Cashman when he was moved out to centre-half forward. Eamon Scallon coming in. John Constantine trying to get it out. This is Scallon. Again, one of the newcomers making quite a name for himself. Beautifully intercepted by Sean O'Gorman. That left-handed stroke gently going up into the clouds and bringing it down to Shawnee McCarthy from Ballinhassig. Tomas Mulcahy being fouled by Liam Dunn. Liam pleads his innocence, but it's a free for Cork. Cathal Casey just inside the 65-metre line. It's curling right in around the house. Kevin Hennessy goes up with a big left paw, doesn't gather it, but Hennessy goes for the break. Jerkush right beside him. Well blocked down by Jerkush. It falls for Pat Buckley. Dangerous ball. And certainly Wexford under a lot of pressure. So Brian Corcoran going to take this 65. He's playing against a very strong breeze, remember. He hits it with everything, but it tails to the right and wide.
A number of times about bringing Brian Corcoran out so far for 65s and frees. They're asking a lot of a young player like that, and you know, he's got his hands full in the full back line there. Maybe Cathal Casey certainly could take some of those 65s. He's also very accurate.
George O'Connor going up with that well-known left hand, didn't gather it, but Jim Cashman. Well pulled on by Liam Dunn. Comes straight to Tomas, his older brother. To George O'Connor. To Martin Storey. A lot will depend on Storey. He's one of the best forwards in the country, and he's proving it in Central Stadium. Storey from all at the ballot scores his first point in the league final. Goalkeeper Tom Kingston. Unusual to see him in his shorts. Normally he wears a tracksuit right throughout the year. The man who is taking over from Ger Cunningham. Ger, of course, out for the league campaign due to injury. What a magnificent catch by Larry O'Gorman, and purely accidental. accidentally, he collided with Tomás Mulcahy. There was no intent, no striking, it was just pure collision and accidental.
Yeah, quite a long puck out by Tom Kingston, and a tremendous catch by Larry O'Gorman. And you just see him turning around here, and Tomás Mulcahy come in to give him a shoulder. Right, their heads clashed. Complete accident, and tremendous catch by Larry O'Gorman.
So John O'Connor is going to take the free. Larry O'Gorman and Tomás Mulcahy both resume their positions. John O'Connor with this free from just inside his own 65. It's a good ball. Tom Kingston has to put up the hurley and out for a 65. John O'Connor, he's been playing very well for his club, St. Martin's Pearstown. He scored 2-8 in the championship match recently against Buffers Alley, county champions. And he scored, he has not in fact, he's driven it wide. It looked like it was going over the bar, and John is rather disgusted with himself. And interestingly, as Tom Kingston takes the puck out, Ger Manley has been moved to centre half forward. Tomás Mulcahy is now playing top of the right. To Teddy McCarthy, sending a ball in towards Kevin Hennessy. And he gathers possession, and he's being held by Jerkush, and it's a free in. And certainly Hennessy is causing a few problems.
Well, Kevin is the kind of player that will always cause problems when he gets his hands on the ball, and you know, that's a great catch against Jerkush, who's also a very big man. Kevin turning away, I think he's trying to get the pass away here to a Cork man loose inside him, just pulled back by Jerkush.
Here's a man who scored 2 goals and 27 points in the league campaign. He's now got 2 28s and his first in the league final, Barry Egan. Fine, long puck out by Damien Fitzhenry. With the wind to his backs. Tom Dempsey. And that's also gone wide. And Wexford could well regret all these opportunities. Great puck out by Tom Kingston. Ger Manley is inside in the thick of it. Easy ball, however, for Larry O'Gorman. Really has settled very well at number 7 for Wexford. This is Jim Cashman. Shawnee McCarthy. Lovely striker of a ball. John O'Connor with Pat Buckley after him. Martin Storey. Faced by 2 Corkmen, and he wanders around the 2 of them and has a shot which is going straight over the bar. And Storey continues where he left off in Parky Keeve, where he had a blinder, particularly in the second half, and he's showing great potential here. 2 points now in the league final.
Yeah, good play again by Martin Storey. He's always very quick, very accurate player, and you see he dances away from Pat Harton here again, and Cork will need to get very tight on him because he's a very accurate player, and as you said, Marty, in the league game in Cork, he troubled Cork very much.
Referee saying, Carl Casey, you're the guilty party, and it's a free for Wexford. John O'Connor, as John Constantine looks on around the edge of the house, and O'Connor drives it straight over the crossbar, and Wexford go in front by just 1 point. Pulled on by Shawnee McCarthy, Tomás Mulcahy and Liam Dunn. This runs out to Storey, and the wind just carrying the slither past Storey. But he gets the break and he gets the sideline cut.
I think at this stage, Marty, Cork are trying to slow the game down a bit and keep it nice and tight in the back line. They're just hoping to keep the scores to a minimum. The nearer they get to half-time, they'll be happy with the situation as it is at the moment.
Shawnee O'Gorman, Eamon Cleary, Tom Dempsey and Jim Cashman. George O'Connor, the referee, not liking the challenge by Shawnee McCarthy, and he gives the free to Wexford. Willie Barrett very much up with the play. Eamon Scallon from Gorey to take this free, his first attempt in the league final. And he swings it very much to the left and wide.
That's a bad wide for Wexford now, because free taking is so important in all these big games nowadays, both hurling and football, and even in the semi-final against Limerick was also a big problem for Wexford, Marty, and you know, they're just not the kind of chances you can afford to miss at this level.
There is, of course, pressure on Wexford playing in this first half with the wind advantage, Jimmy.
It is indeed, and as I said already, they're just the type of chance to need to take them. Their half-back line certainly are thundering into the game at this stage, giving them every chance.
Larry O'Gorman sending it in towards Eamon Cleary. The referee spotted that Larry O'Gorman was fouled after he kicked the ball by Jim Cashman. And that's very much up with play. Willie Barrett, the referee. So John O'Connor comes up to take this free. Cork players anxious that he's going to go for a goal, and he puts it over the bar. I think the intent was to raise a green flag, not a white one.
I think the way he lined up with Marty, it certainly looked like he was going to have a go off a goal, and you know, he hit it fairly strong with the wind behind him, but it was always sailing over the bar. But again, it's significant for Wexford that their half-back line are coming very much into the game.
So Wexford currently enjoy a 2-point advantage. Well, pulled on by Paul Casey, and Teddy McCarthy has acres of simple stadium before him. Is he satisfied with a point? He mishits it. Jerkosh, Damien Fitzhenry is alert to it. It was a sort of a ball that could fool many goalkeepers as it came flying in amongst a group of players. Pat Buckley to pass into no man's land. Terrible pass by Buckley. And Wexford come away with it. Jerkosh sending it straight down towards Eamon Scallon. Dennis Walsh leaves it behind him, and gathering it is Tom Dempsey. Now can Wexford avail of an opportunity here? Still Tom Dempsey giving it outside to Eamon Cleary. Larry Murphy calling for it. Jim Bolger, and that too goes to the left and wide. That's 6 wides now for Wexford in this first half. Certainly many talking points already after 20 minutes in this first half. Tom Kingston wisely has a low trajectory in his puck outs, but Larry O'Gorman is having a stormer at left half back at the moment for Wexford. Again, he tries to find Eamon Cleary, succeeds in doing so. Scallon is laying off loose, drives in a ball towards Tom Kingston, and Kingston is able for the task. Drops a good ball out towards Pat Buckley. Wexford see the danger. John O'Connor puts it out, line ball for the Leesiders.
There's a half chance there for Eamon Cleary. He didn't get any power behind the shot, and Tom Kingston, you know, tried to control the ball in his hurling. Not always an easy thing to do, but he managed to do it in that situation and got it away quite well.
Sean McCarthy, low ball. Liam Dunn. Sean O'Gorman drops it. Comes down to Larry. Oh! Wonderful! Larry Murphy hits the back of the Cork net. Tom Kingston thought he had deflected it over the crossbar. And Tom Kingston is arguing with the umpires. It looked for a moment that Kingston had made a breathtaking save, but the umpire had no doubt.
Well, Sean O'Gorman goes to catch the ball there, lets it drop out of his hands, and Larry Murphy very quickly onto it and hits a brilliant shot, rising past Tom Kingston. I think it went up through the roof of the net actually, and out through it as well. There must be a hole in the net somewhere, but brilliant shot by Larry Murphy.
Amazing talking point after 21 minutes of play, as Wexford go forth once more. Was there a hole in the back of the Cork net? It's a question that has to be answered as Eamon Cleary puts it over the bar, and Wexford are on a roll.
Well, these are the scores that Wexford so badly needed, and in fairness to them, I think it's due to the brilliant work of their entire half-back. They were completely on top of the Cork half-forward line at this stage, and Cork will certainly have to do something about that. But tremendous hurling by Wexford at this stage, and taking their chances certainly now. There's an amazing situation with that shot by Larry Murphy. It certainly, Tom Kingston thought he'd put it over the bar, but it certainly seemed to go under the crossbar from here.
Certainly looked at it from my side as well, Jimmy, as Larry O'Gorman has the time and composure to give it back to Liam Dunn. And just what Jimmy Barry Murphy was saying, the Wexford half-back line have become more prominent and confident as this match progressed. Pat Buckley. Down towards Tom Dempsey. Pat Hartnett fouled and a free for Cork.
Oh, I think that was the break that Wexford needed, Mark, because in the past we've all been saying they've had the chances to win big games and they haven't taken them, but they've certainly got the chances at this stage and they've taken them. So early on they might have missed a couple, but they certainly got the last goal and the point that they got with tremendous scores, and that's a great boost from this stage.
6 points between the sides, 1-7 to 1-1. Brian Corcoran with this free, just inside his own 65. Kevin Hennessy and Ger Cush, Niall MacDonald, and the referee has blown his whistle. And he's given a free to Kevin Hennessy for a foul by Ger Cush.
Yeah, well, here, Marty, as you can see, Larry Murphy drives the ball. Tom Kingston, I think, kind of gets a half touch, but it certainly seemed to go under the crossbar to me anyway. And the umpires were in no doubt either.
Barry Egan puts it over the bar. And that's his second point of the league final, making it 1-7 to 1-2. '19-year-old goalkeeper Damien Fitzhenry. Interestingly, Cork again have made alterations to their attack. Barry Egan now playing at right half forward, Teddy McCarthy top of the left. At the other end, Brian Corcoran sending it down towards Tomas Mulcahy. Pat Buckley was fouled and a free for Cork.
That's a stupid free for Wexford to give away. No, this is just a time when they need to consolidate and try and keep the pressure on Cork, not to give away frees and have the ball landing in around their goal. But Brian Corcoran certainly will be dropping this in around the edge of the square, I'd imagine.
Brian Corcoran, many people were surprised that he was playing at left corner back. Some feel he should be playing centre back, but because of a shoulder injury in a club match, the selectors thought, well, put him in at left corner back. Now, Cork put on the pressure. Ger Cush switches it over to the other side. There's nobody there except Pat Hartnett. Sends it back down towards Tomas Mulcahy. Tomas, the hero against Tipperary in the semi-final. Sean Flood and the Wexford backs push the Cork forwards out. It's a good ball. And Wexford survive once more. Niall MacDonald, Liam Dunn, Kevin Hennessy is there, gets it. Crosses the goal mouth, comes back to Barry Egan, and Egan over the bar. His first from play, his third of the match. And Barry Egan, right throughout this league campaign, has shown great potential. And Cork supporters very happy to see that go over the crossbar. And the sun begins to shine on Semple Stadium as Jim Bolger comes bursting forward. He's fouled by Jim Cashman, and it's another free for Wexford. Eamon Scallon puts it over the bar to make it now Wexford 1-8, Cork 1-3. Dave Guiney is being warmed up along the sideline. Are Wexford going to make a change? And they're under pressure as the ball comes down towards Kevin Hennessy. Decides against a first-time pull. Decides to lob it across, right across towards Teddy McCarthy. Liam Dunn is there. He's playing very solidly at centre half-back. Jim Cashman is there, waiting for the dropping ball. Larry O'Gorman intercepting. In an effort to curb Larry O'Gorman, that's the reason why Barry Egan is now playing it right half forward. George O'Connor, a low ball for Larry Murphy to run onto. Knocked away by John Constantine, and Cashman a little bit slow in picking it up. Not slow as Tom Dempsey. Well hooked by Brian Corcoran. Excellent play by the cornerback. Eamon Cleary. Sean O'Gorman is there, all by himself. Sends it back down towards Larry O'Gorman. And Larry has it once more. Under a little bit of pressure. Beautiful pull by Shawnee McCarthy, but it's not a great one in terms of its accuracy. It's a line ball for Wexford. Right corner back, Sean Flood. Paul Casey straight to Liam Dunn. Tries to get a ball for Eamon Scallon to run onto, and it's Scallon that has it. Poor ball, but it works out for him. George O'Connor going for the point, and it's accurately put over the bar. George O'Connor, his first of this '93 league final, and it puts Wexford into a substantial lead.
Good interception here by George O'Connor, and again, good point, and just what they needed at this stage to keep them ticking over.
Just a minute left to the half-time whistle. Cathal Casey obviously alert to George O'Connor's high fielding ability, pulling in at first time. Ger Cush first to the ball. Half blocked by Ger Manley. Tomas Mulcahy. Kevin Hennessy is to his left. Still Mulcahy. Forcing his way forward. Niall MacDonald, Liam Dunn. And between them they managed to get the slither off the Hurling. And it's Dunn that sends it down, right down the middle to Larry O'Gorman. Who else? Who switches it over towards Eamon Scallon. Can't control it. It's going to be a line ball for Cork. A lot of talking points in this first half. And certainly the crowd enjoying the skill and the talent. The sideline cutting by both sets of players, not exactly what you'd expect in a league final. Cathal Casey, Damien Fitzhenry is coming out to meet it, and bravely goes down on Kevin Hennessy. And that's going to be a 65. Kevin Hennessy on his knees looking to the referee for a free for Damien Fitzhenry coming out on top of him. Referee is having none of it. So here's Cathal Casey with the 65. Dropping in, and Damien Fitzhenry is satisfied to see it go over the crossbar. And it's a good point coming up to the half-time whistle, Jimmy.
Very important point. I said before the game I thought Wexford would need a 7 or 8 point advantage with the breeze behind them, but they're certainly playing well enough, and if their half-back line keep playing as well as they have been, they're going to take a lot of beating.
Well, the referee blows the half-time whistle. Many talking points, particularly Larry Murphy's goal. Is there a hole in the net? But at half-time, Wexford lead with after wind advantage by 1-9, 5 points to the good. 30 minutes to decide who are going to be league champions. 93. It's Martin's story. He wants a league medal, and he wants it bad as he tries to get inside the attentions of Pat Hartnett, but that ball very much to the right and wide. Wexford introduced Dave Guiney at the right half back, and he's going to be marking Pat Buckley. Ball goes down towards Liam Dunn. Larry O'Gorman is there. Pulled on by Teddy McCarthy. This is John O'Connor, now playing at left corner back, and Niall MacDonald is the man that's gone off. Hard work by Tomas Dunn, and a referee not liking the challenge by the Cork man, and he's having a serious word with St. Catherine's Dennis Walsh, and he's booking the man.
Yeah, well, here you can see Tom Dunn just getting the ball up there, and Dennis Welch comes in, and a wild high tackle there, and the referee in quite quickly, and had no alternative but to book Dennis Welch there and speak quite strongly to him.
This free taken by John O'Connor. Certainly has loads of height. Martin Story telling Larry Murphy to leave it. Half blocked down. Comes across, well gathered by Jim Cashman. Luckily enough, it works out when it comes to John Constine, and the referee deems that the challenge, the hurley, was a bit high, and sportingly Larry Murphy gives a tap to John Constine and acknowledges his mistake. Brian Corcoran taking the free. Regional College in Cork student brings it all the way up towards Tomas Mulcahy without a hurley. Still he goes forward. Sean Flood gets it out. Where's George O'Connor? He's going on the roundabout detour way, but he manages to get it past Tom Dempsey, the Wexford captain. Pulled on first time, line ball for Cork. Cut in by Dennis Walsh. Liam Dunn giving it to John O'Connor. A dropping ball, and Tom Kingston was alert to it. That's a good save by the Tracton man, as Eamon Scallon came in and just got a little touch to it. Cathal Casey. Ger Cush, magnificent under the high ball. Challenged by Barry Egan. Dispossessed by Egan. Cush went looking for a free and didn't get it. Sean Flood fouls the Cork man. Ger Cush comes out and protests to the referee. Well, the referee had given the advantage advantage as such to Ger Cush, and he didn't avail of it.
I think in fairness, Matt, he was a bit unlucky there because Ger Cush had won the ball, and even though he might have been slightly overrunning it, he was certainly fouled and was entitled to a free out. So that's why he's feeling fairly aggrieved at this stage, I think.
Barry Egan, an important free, and he puts it over the bar. That's 4 points for Barry Egan in this league final.
An important score too, because Tom Kingston previously had made a very, very good save at the other end. Here you can see a high dropping ball in the square, and Sean O'Gorman caught outside his man, and good flick on by the Wexford player, and Tom Kingston very, very alert and a fine save under pressure. That would have been very important.
Ball breaks off the Corkman, and it's a line ball for Wexford.
That would have been a tremendous boost for Wexford if they'd got a goal at that stage, and Sean O'Gorman was just caught on the wrong side of the forward for a second there.
Referee just telling Sean McCarthy and George O'Connor to step back the sufficient distance. As Dave Guiney takes this line ball. Pulled on by Tom Dempsey. Falls nicely for Jim Bolger to gather. Chased by Jim Cashman. Sean O'Gorman, Eamon Cleary, Dennis Walsh is back there, but he puts it into the path of Larry Murphy. And Larry has put it out over the end line. The referee has now spotted the umpires waving his hand. Larry says, no, honest to God, it wasn't out over the end line, but it's no good.
Yeah, well, Larry Murphy's very quick on the ball. You can just see him running onto here, trying to control it. It doesn't seem to be going over the end line from this angle, but the umpire was quite definite at that stage. Cork have also brought Brian Corcoran into the half-back. They know Marty, and they're obviously hoping to get more ball to their forward line.
And it's Brian Corcoran that has it up towards Kevin Hennessy. And it's Hennessy that sends it towards Barry Egan, and Sean Flood did well because Ger Manley had sneaked inside the Wexford cover. Martin Storey, usually inspiring, needs to be in this second half as he tries to go through Pat Hartnett. The Middleton man holds him back. Referee says it's a Slaney side free.
Well, it's Martin Storey here trying to take on the defence and turns back outside after losing control of the ball, and he actually turns back into Pat Hartnett again here. Pat Hartnett puts his arm out around him. I think in fairness to the referee, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but the advantage goes to the attacking player. It's a difficult one to call there.
Eamon Scallon with the free. He's scored one already. This is a very important one, but incredibly he drives it wide. And psychologically, certainly, Jimmy, that's a blow to Wexford now.
Yeah, well, Martin Storey's playing well at right half power on Pat Hartnett, and he won a very good free, I suppose, from Wexford's point of view. But you just need, it was essential that you take those chances. And it'll be interesting to see where Tom Kingston's puck out is dropping again here.
Drops right down the middle. Plenty of Wexford players there. And one of them happens to be Tomas Dunn. Martin Storey has to go back to gather it again. George O'Connor over towards Tom Dempsey. Brian Corcoran after him, and Dempsey gets inside the cover. Drops one in towards Eamon Scallon. Good position. Oh, yes! Goal for Wexford. No ifs, buts, or ands. This time, Scallon sends the Slaney-siders into ecstasy on Semple Stadium.
Yes, well, good play again here by Tom Dempsey. Very good low ball into the Wexford full forward line. And again, Dennis Welsh just caught outside his man here. Good control by Eamon Scallon, who buried it past Tom Kingston. The Cork selector certainly won't be happy to find a marking in the full back line at the moment, Marty.
Was it wise to move Brian Corcoran when you consider that sort of a ball? That should have been cleared by a defender. No question whatsoever. Sean O'Gorman sends the ball down towards Barry Egan with Sean Flood. Egan, a skillful little player from Delaney's, sends a ball in, and it just goes over Damien Fitzhenry's crossbar. And a good response by the Cork man. It keeps them in touch. Christy Keogh, the Wexford manager, now up out of the dugout, trying to encourage more and more from his players. Pat Buckley getting it down towards Kevin Hennessy, comes inside, Damien Fitzhenry calls for it, steps aside the Cork man. Ger Manley was looking for a free for an off the ball push there, but the referee says no, as Tomas Dunn gives it to his captain Tom Dempsey. Jim Bolger is inside. drops a ball, coming out to meet it, 2 Cork players. One of them is Dennis Walsh. Dispossessed by Eamon Cleary. And that's gone wide. Ball runs on from Tom Kingston's puck out. Tomas Mulcahy trying to get it across. Lovely hurling by Sean Flood. No gathering it into the hands, just pulling on it. His clearance, however, comes to Shawnee McCarthy, and Ballinhassig salutes their hero with a very good point from play.
Well, that's a great score from play by Shawnee McCarthy from a very difficult angle, and Wexford player comes in and tries to block him, but you know, Cork are under pressure, and those type of chances are never easy at this stage.
Fine puck up by Damien Fitzhenry, and Brian Corcoran, elegant under the high ball. Dropping it back in. Oh, wonderful fielding by Ger Cush. What Brian Corcoran can do on Lee's side, Cush can do it on Slaney's side. Eamon Scallon sending it across. Tom Dempsey, and it's Corcoran again. With or without a hurley, this man can inspire. He's only 20 years of age. Down towards Pat Buckley. Sean Flood pulling it up first time. Underneath it, all alone, is Teddy McCarthy. I don't know what he was intending to do there, but anyway, it's still Cork that have it. It's Pat Buckley from Milford trying to get inside. Dave Guiney, good position, drops it in, and Fitzhenry makes the mistake, and Manley puts it into the net. A goal for Cork just when they so badly needed it, and it's the keeper from Wexford that this time makes the error.
Well, in fairness, I think he's been unlucky, because it's a very deceptive shot in here by Pat Buckley. Half hits it for a point, I think, heading for the top corner. You can see Pat here is under pressure from the defence. Wexford backs are backing off him. Hits a left-handed shot, and Damien Fitzhenry goes to catch it again, drops over his hand, but Ger Manley in like a shot. Brilliant corner forward play, great anticipation.
Now, you never can beat the Cork lads until that final whistle is blown. And Wexford make the space and create the space. There's still 2 points to the good. It's Bolger going through, sending it up. Oh, Tom Kingston, another goal! The referee has blown his whistle for a square ball infringement. The referee has blown his whistle. No goal, says referee Willie Barrett. He didn't even have to consult with his umpires. Wexford were crowding in around the goal mouth, and Tom Kingston gets the free.
Well, as you can see here, Marty, these ones are always difficult to judge from here, but James Baldrick's in a dangerous ball again, crossing towards the far post, and I think the Wexford players are, you know, just following him with the ball, and it's a bit difficult to see. I think it's a harsh decision myself, to be honest about it.
Still Wexford lead by 2 points. 2-9 to do 7 to Corcoran in space, driving it long, driving it hard, but driving it wide. Brian Corcoran, his move out to the half-back line has added strength. But is it enough for the Munster champions? Shawnee McCarthy, line ball for Wexford. "14 minutes gone in the second half. George O'Connor goes straight through Sean McCarthy's legs. Runs on towards Dennis Walsh. Pat Hartnett back there. George O'Connor up with the left paw. He's broken his fingers, all 5 of them, in the past, but they're still able to grab the sliotar in Semple Stadium. Mal at the balla, Liam Dunn. Good ball. Comes in towards Liam Cleary. He didn't get a boot to it. Tom Kingston is there. That's good goalkeeping. And he manages to get it out towards Teddy McCarthy. Surely held back. Line ball for Wexford. Anxious moments in the Cork goal mouth.
Well, again, good catch here by Eamon Cleary from a kind of a loose ball, and just as he did against Limerick, gets away from Sean O'Gorman, tries to kick it, but he actually kicks the ground instead, and knocks Limerick's hurley with Tom Kingston. Under a lot of pressure, does well again and gets it away quickly.
It's Jim Bolger. Sean O'Gorman has to come over to clear it, but it's not a good clearance. It comes straight to George O'Connor, and you can lift the white flag, says Georgie. It's another point for Wexford, scored by the ageless wonder from Pearstown in County Wexford. Teddy McCarthy knocking it down to another McCarthy, Shawnee. That's a great point by Sean McCarthy. 2 points the all-star from Ballinhassig, has got in the league final. So Wexford do introduce Billy Byrne, and it looks like the Wexford captain Tom Dempsey is being taken off. A wonderful point by Shawnee McCarthy. And Tom Dempsey goes off, taken off by Christy Keogh. Barry Egan. Line ball for Cork. Much to the disgust of the Wexford players and manager. Shawnee McCarthy. Beautiful cut. Runs on towards Ger Cush, and in a moment of panic just belts it anywhere. And that's going to be a line ball.
Very difficult angle here for Conor Casey. He's obviously going to try and pull this ball back on to 21 and hope to pick up a point from play.
He drops it in. Kevin Hennessy runs on. But back there to help out his defence is George O'Connor. Not the best clearance in the world. Story knocks it down towards Dave Guiney. Just can't control it. And Wexford find themselves under increasing pressure, and that's a rather stupid free, really, by Martin Story. Lunging in on Sean McCarthy.
Yeah, silly free to give away there. Sean McCarthy was under a lot of pressure. The only thing about it, it's a difficult angle for Barry Egan, who is not normally noted as a free taker, but he has been taken over Cork in the league.
And Parry sends that straight over the bar. That's 6 points for Barry Egan. So just 1 point between the teams. Shawnee McCarthy not quite getting a hurley to it. As players put heart and spirit into this. Tomas Dunn, Brian Corcoran, showing why he's also a potential Cork footballer. Carl Casey and Larry Murphy. John Constine. And it's Casey that comes away with it. And that's going to be a line ball for Wexford.
Well, Brian Corcoran has certainly made a great difference in the second half. Corcoran out playing with centre half back, and wherever they seem to have most problems, Cork seem to try and place him, but he has turned it into the game. He's been outstanding even at wing back and now centre back as well.
Larry O'Gorman, oh, he hit that well. Knocks down for Brian Corcoran again to pick it up. The hurling people in Cork will tell you he should be playing centre half back. I think since he came out, many people would agree. Indeed, many would say that he's the best in the country, no matter what position. I've seen him play club hurling with his own Aaron zone at centre half forward, and I think words and adjectives like magnificent would only describe his performances. This is Ger Manley to Sean McCarthy. Oh, wonderful play by the Ballinhassig star. The sides are level in Semple Stadium after 22 minutes of the second half.
Well, this is great play here by Ger Manley, and he's playing very well. Knocks the ball back to Sean McCarthy in a loose position, and Sean has got 3 great points in this second half, which Cork needed badly.
This is really a test for Wexford now. Dennis Walsh. Pat Buckley. The Corkmen know how to win. And psychologically, it could be the edge to decide this tie. Referee rightly waves play on. Kevin Hennessy going for an Oscar with a magnificent dive, which the referee didn't agree with. And the umpire signals that that is a wide.
Well, you see Kevin here racing after the ball, both players. Kevin takes a complete dive there, and not very elegantly either, but Teddy McCarthy goes to pick up the ball, and John O'Connor actually, I think, knocked it over. It should have been a 65 to Cork. That's what the Cork players were protesting about, I think.
Well, the football final ended in a draw last week. Is it a repeat? As Jim Bolger goes through. They need a score here. Still Bolger gets a hurley to it across Damon Scallon. A point will do nicely. Dennis Walsh blocks it down and gets it out anywhere. Shawnee O'Gorman.
That was certainly a great chance for Damon Scallon, but a great block down by Dennis Walsh as well, and he did very well to get that away for Cork. Any score now is going to be very, very important.
That's a terrible effort by Martin Storey.
Well, that's a toe wide now, because the tuck out is going to be an absolute killer for Wexford, and what Wexford need to do there was to keep the ball in play.
Tom Kingston decides to send it over to the other side, where Larry O'Gorman is there for Wexford. A race for possession. Teddy McCarthy now playing a corner forward, coming out to try and get inside Ger Cush. Still Teddy McCarthy. Where is it? Referee says, let's call a halt. It's going to be a throw ball. And Wexford, just at this moment, look a little bit rattled. They have 5 minutes to win the league title. Can Cork win their 13th? John O'Connor straight to a Corkman, Kevin Hennessy, and that goes to the left and wide. A let-off for Wexford.
It's a let-off in fairness to Wexford, Mark. I think they're still well in the game. Their forwards look dangerous when they get the ball and take on the Cork defence. And you know, the game is still there if you won or lost, I think. But their backs are playing quite well under a lot of pressure, and the Cork full forward line certainly in the second half haven't made a great impact. Teddy McCarthy now operating as full forward and Kevin Hennessy in the corner, but they haven't really threatened the Wexford goal for quite a while.
Dennis Walsh reading it well. Goes out over the line. Line ball for Wexford.
Well, this is a replica of his last sideline ball, Martin. I think what Martin Storey needs to do is knock this across the middle of the field, or even one of the other players might take it and try and keep it in play and move Martin Storey into the full forward line.
They're listening to you down in the dugout, Jimmy, because Jim Bolger has been brought up by Christy Keogh. Tension and worry in the Wexford dugout. 20 years is a long, long time. Jim Bolger. Fouling was Martin Storey. Martin says he was being held by Cathal Casey. And it's a free for Brian Corcoran. Brian Corcoran. Sean Flood with Pat Buckley. Comes back outside to Barry Egan. To Germain Lay. And the corner forwards combine to set up the lead for the Leesiders. Germain Lay now playing club hurling with Middleton. Shows why. Well, he's number 13 for Cork.
Germain Lay and Barry Egan combining well here. The two young players have done very well for Cork today, particularly in the second half. And that's a difficult chance. He takes his point brilliantly, and he's had an outstanding game today.
Now it's all to play for. Dennis Walsh with Eamon Scallon. Wexford now seeking an equaliser. Jim Bolger. He's in a good position here. Well hooked by Brian Corcoran. Excellent play. Classy stuff from the end zone man. George O'Connor. Barry Egan back there to help. Up, helping out his attack is Dave Guiney. Half blocked down. Comes across. It's Jim Cashman. And unleashes the ball straight to Larry O'Gorman, who has all the time in the world to send it back in around the house. Comes down towards Larry Murphy. And Brian Corcoran is there once more. Magnificent play by the Cork number 4 to Tomas Mulcahy, the Glen Rovers man. Lofts it high but lofts it wide.
Well, now in the last few minutes there, Brian Corcoran has been absolutely incredible in the Cork defence. He's covering off everywhere for the defence, and every dangerous situation that arises, he seems to be able to nip it in the bud. Martin, is a tremendous display by Brian in the second half.
Puck out comes down towards Liam Dunn. Barry Egan pulling in it first time. Teddy McCarthy, Kevin Hennessy in hot pursuit. John O'Connor is there as well. Damien Fitzhenry has all the time. to send it across into the middle. Jim Cashman first through, get to it. He runs into a spot of trouble. Eamon Scallon deciding to pull in it first time. John Constantine to Billy Byrne. In towards Eamon Cleary. Inside Martin Story. Oh, well done. Pat Hartnett comes back outside. And that's the equaliser. Wexford, thanks to Larry Murphy, are level once more in Semple Stadium.
Brilliant point by Larry Murphy, and you can see here the ball breaks out. Pat Hartnett's coming back. Tremendous interception by Pat Hartnett, but luckily for Wexford it falls to Larry Murphy, who has also played very well today, and tremendous point again at a vital stage.
We won't go home tonight, Jimmy Barry. We're just seconds away from that final whistle. John O'Connor. It well looks like at the moment that what Dublin and Donegal did last week, Cork and Wexford could do it now. But is there a winner in either side? Liam Dunn, Wexford, lash it up. Jim Cashman underneath it. Gathered superbly by Larry Murphy. Back to Jim Bolger. Hooked by Carl Casey. Down towards Billy Byrne. Martin Story. One man who can score a point. The Story is fouled. And a free in. It must be the last puck of the match. And Wexford, Martin Story fouled by Pat Hartnett.
Yes, well, Martin Story again doing what he's best at, taking on the defence, gets inside Pat Hartnett. His hurley is actually full there, but he's tripped as well. And the referee, very good, had to give a free, no question about it. But a vital free, not an easy free for Wexford at this stage, I can tell you, against the wind. And I'm not sure who's taken Martin. Eamon Scallon has been taking the frees all day, but I wouldn't be surprised if they'd bring up John O'Connor for this one. He's a very accurate free taker.
And it is John O'Connor that's being called up. And I have a funny feeling that Willie Barrett told Martin Story that he has to score direct. They had a brief conversation. 30 minutes, 49 seconds by my stopwatch. We're into injury time.
Well, Marty, he should get it, but they're never easy at this stage, and what a time it is for Wexford to try and win their first title in such a long time.
Now, the pressure is on John O'Connor from Pearstown. Can he get a winner that would win the league title for Wexford for the first time in 20 years? He sends it wide. The Wexford players fall to their knees. John O'Connor is devastated.
That's unbelievable, really.
And the referee has blown, I think, the final whistle. Yes, he has. The sides end level after an enthralling contest. Christy Keogh has words for Eamon Cleary. The Cork players and Wexford players have to do it all over again. An amazing second half. Cork, 2 goals and 11 points. Wexford, 2 goals and 11 points.
I think they played better than we did, and I suppose with the last free going wide, you know, we were thankful for another crack.
Certainly you've responded very well, particularly in the second half.
Yes, well, when they went 7 points up, you know, I mean, John Manley took a very good opportunity goal. He was in like a flash to finish it. And, you know, it brought us right back into the game. And, you know, it was up for grabs, and the wind was a big advantage, and we were hitting long-range points from Shawnee Mack in midfield. And I thought that we could have snatched it probably, but, I mean, it would have been an injustice to Wexford.
We were pleased that we escaped with a draw, but we were disappointed we didn't win. There's no old saying you only get one chance against the likes of Cork and Kilkenny. If you don't take it, you're in trouble the next day. So hopefully we'll be able to come back and get one step further and win it this time.
There certainly seems to be great self-belief in this Wexford team.
There is. I think it started with Cyril Farrell coming to the team. He's saying the only thing Wexford are lacking at the moment is the win. So one win, I think, bring back the young lads, get interested in the game, and that's all we want is one win. And hopefully next week now will be the step in the right direction, and we go on now and win the championship.
Wexford have hurled brilliantly today. You know, their forwards are very fast, their backs are very strong. You know, the midfielders are strong. You know, so I think they can count themselves very unlucky not to be National League champions today.
We're really determined this year. We've decided now we're going to back each other up all the way. We're not going to hang our heads. We're going to keep going, and eventually we'll get the result in the end.
What about the replay now, Larry? Are you confident that you can play above what your performance displayed today?
Well, I think Wexford can. I think Wexford Packs had an outstanding game today, and the forwards were unlucky. They could have got the breaks. If they got the breaks, we could have won. But unlucky, we didn't get all the breaks, and we're happy enough. We're looking forward to the next day, and that's the main thing. It's a great game, full-hearted game, and no off-the-ball incidents or whatever, and it really made it an enjoyable game for everyone, and everyone that came here today got their money's worth.
There was times in the first half we were against the wind, and I chopped the ball, puck it out, and it's actually blow back by the time I get the hurley swung around to hit it. The wind was very strong, like, and just swirling around as well, so it was difficult to judge it. But it was just as hard for the Wexford players as it was for us, so I didn't see them complain, you know.
It looked there at one stage with 5 or 6 minutes to go that we had shut our load again, you know, and I thought it was going to be another long track back to Wexford there, defeated again. But I'd have to give full credit to the boys out there. I was delighted with the way they came back there to get the equaliser, and then, as I said, we had a chance to win the game. But those things happen, like John came up, and there's a swirling wind out there today, and it was very awkward on free takers, and unfortunately we didn't get it, but we live to fight another day.
It was a typical final kind of a performance. No one wanted to give away too much. The first 20 minutes saw that. I think the wind had a big bearing on it. We were playing to a very strong wind, as you can see here. It mightn't be that noticeable in the stand, but it had a big bearing out here, and especially with free taking and the likes of it. But saying that, I think we're delighted to have another go at it. It's competitive games right up to the first round of the championship for us, and I think Wexford are in the same boat. And it was a good, hard sporting game, and I think it had all the attributes of a championship game today. So I think for a spectacle, it was a great game of hurling.